Hey guys, welcome back to another video. A few weeks ago during a live, I created these two cards using the reverse stenciling technique. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how this is done. I, at the time, didn't have a very good resolution or focus in my camera for the live, so I thought I would kind of just go over this again since a couple people asked me about it. And I'm going to start out with this Brutus Monroe mixed media stencil. I just recently picked this one up. It's called Kramer, and I can link this below. I'm not sure if it was on sale because it is going, if they're just continuing it, or if it just happens that they're rotating their stock, or they were just nice and having a sale. So if I see that one, I will link it below. And I am just going to go ahead and do a couple of things. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to tape down my paper. And I had to think about that for a long time. And today not only am I using my new stencil, but I'm also using the new Distress Oxide color from Ranger, and it is called Uncharted Mariner. It is a very bluey turquoise, and it's got a little bit of almost a gray look to it when it oxidizes, so it's pretty cool. Let me just open this up here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this blue and this purple. I'm going to tape down my stencil. And just to make it as easy as possible for myself, I'm just going to glue this right along there. Let's see. I've never used anything like the double-sided or repositionable spray like Pixie Spray. If you've used anything like that and had good results, let me know about it in the comments below, because I'd really like to try something like that. But I always think, oh, I have masking tape, so I'm going to use that. So, looks like this went a little farther. There we go. I'm just going to get started. You can see that my foams were stored with my colors. I'm just going to grab a couple brushes and then of course a new foam for this new color. And for these first two, I'm going to use the Mariner and the Wilted Violet, almost in the same kind of position. So let's see here. One for this already. So again, this is the Wilted Violet. Just going to go in the middle here and start putting some color down. And let's see how this one goes. Whoa, this is dark. I think it's dark even if it weren't new. It seems just like a really rich color. Get my fingers in there, but not get my fingers in there. See if I can blend out some of this really dark color that's at the top. I should have put more tape on here, but just trying to be quick about things. And this could be fun to put just a little bit more of the purple around these little circles. Ooh, whoops. Okay, that's all I'm doing for that one. I'm gonna set it aside and put another piece of paper down. The next one I'm gonna use the same colors and the same pattern, and you'll see why in just a minute. Again, same two colors. I've got Uncharted Mariner and Wilted Violet. And let's see. And I really already have some color on these brushes. Of course, anytime you do this technique, your blend, you don't really have to, you don't have to worry too much about splotches, about getting an even blend, just because of the way the second step is going to take some of that color out. But just kind of give it your best. I'm not, you know, I'm pretty heavy-handed to begin with, so anytime I go direct to paper, I have a big problem splotching. But I'm not sure that I'm worried about it too much. So, just going to put some more color around in these areas, in the corners, probably just around the side here. Probably should be worried about contamination of color, but really not. Maybe if the colors were lighter, I might be concerned about it. So that seems good. And this is the part where we'll see what reverse stenciling is really about. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab my Memento black, tuxedo black ink, and I am going to lay this maybe at a little bit of an angle. down. Excuse me, Dan. So what I found doing this previously is that the easiest way to get the color in when you're using this kind of a blending brush or foam is to pounce it in there instead of trying to blend it through. Take a little bit of drink. I hope this tape is going to hold. Maybe I'll put in one more piece here. And you really want a good heavy layer of black ink in all of these areas that you can see. I know it is covering up all of that beautiful color underneath, but the result is so worth it. Okay, I think we're just about ready to go. All right. Oh, little spot that I missed over there in the corner. Who knows which piece of this I'll use for my card, but might as well give myself as many options as possible. There we go. Isn't it fantastic? Of course, I'm going to cut it down and it'll make a difference when you don't see any of the white or the edges. But this technique really is exciting, and I don't know why I hadn't done it before. So I'm going to go ahead and create some cards using these, and I'll be right back. I'm going to do some die cutting, I think. I'm going to use my Pink and Main Hello die today and see what I can come up with. So before I go ahead and cut these down and make cards out of them, I wanted to take a look side by side at the regular stenciling and then the reverse stenciling. Just to kind of show the contrast, not just of obviously using black ink and instead of having the white paper showing, but that it really kind of has a different effect on the colors that are laid down. Your eye catches a little differently and sees the color a little differently when you use the black ink. And then I also created just a few others. For these I used the squeezed lemonade, picked raspberry, twisted citron, mermaid lagoon, and a little bit of spun sugar. I used the same stencil and the same technique, of course, and got some really fun patterns, or some really fun color. This one I laid down some heavy color. This one is lighter. This one is lighter, and I left some places white. So that's pretty interesting. And this one is pretty bright. And then this one I think is my favorite. Oop. And I just did some color in lines straight across. And then what I did is I went ahead and lined up the middle of the center circle here in the middle of that yellow band of color. So I'm going to go ahead and get these cut down and make some cards, and I'll show you what I got. Okay, I went ahead and cut these down to 3 3/4 by 5. And I really just kind of lined it up so that the big circle in the middle was in the middle-ish. On this one with the black, I went ahead and I'm going to mount it on white cardstock with a black card base. So this is an A2 size card base. And I'm going to go ahead and put a die or a die cut there. This is from the Pink and Main Hello die set. So here it has the word hello and then the bubble, and I went ahead and did quite a few of them in both black and white. And this is how I will store my extras when I have them, just so when I go to look through my dies I see that these are already cut. See. Excuse me. For this one, I'm just going to use the plain hello. And I wanted to do one of these in landscape. I'm not sure which. I like the look of that. Just on a little bit of an angle. All of this is dark enough so that the white kind of pops out. That last bit I got directly onto my finger. So I'm just going to offset it a little bit. I'm going to follow this line. Use it just as a little bit of a guide. And just adhere that down. I like these bold pink and mane dyes because they are easy to glue down, even though that they have some little kind of delicate small parts that are cut out. The word itself is thick enough that I can get like a whole line of glue on there, so I don't have to worry too much about glue spilling out everywhere, even though it still might. That one. And then for this one, I'm going to mat it on black cardstock. Again, this I cut down to 3 3/4 by 5, matting it on a piece of black cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4, and that goes right, oops, down crooked. And for this one, I'm going to use the Hello in white and put it on a piece of black cardstock for this bubble part. This one I'll just put across the bottom. Like so. So here we have the two. And then I went ahead and made a couple more. These ones I didn't put a sentiment on. I'm not sure how I want to finish these off. But you'll see this one I just happened to cut it a little wonky at one angle. And so when I mounted it, you can see that it has this little difference of the way that the mat is, except that it is symmetrical on both sides, on both corners. So I kind of like the way that looks. It's a little different, and this I think is just fine to send on its own. I will, of course, in these ones with the black cardstock, put in a white mat inside for a signature and a little note. And this one I mounted on some yellow cardstock. This is the one with the pink and yellow, and I left some of this white, and mounting it on the yellow really made that white kind of come out and be a little more prominent. And then I have this one that, again, I just cut so that this middle piece was offset a little bit. So I went, I looked at the image, I took the whole image, and I decided kind of what areas I wanted. And this section kind of gave me all of the colors that I had used in the blend. So I went ahead and cut it down that way. And then this last one is the one that I did where I did just the stripes. I did the picked raspberry, whatever the yellow color is, and then the blue across the top. And I kind of liked that. Just gave it just a different kind of interest. It seemed a little less hectic than this, even though it's still pretty bright, has a lot of color, and uses the same technique. So. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know when I load new content and when I go live to do a live project and chat with y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, safety first.